Welcome to the Tea Hut, the podcast for unorthodox entrepreneurs striving for success by going against the grain, breaking down barriers beyond the biscuit tin, revealing what property professionals and construction workers really talk about on their tea breaks. Join us as we delve deep to uncover what it takes to succeed and be the best version of yourself.
So, welcome to the Tea Hut podcast. If you've never stopped for a brew in the cabin, this is where we break down barriers beyond the biscuit tin, disrupting normal patterns of conversation and asking the questions that nobody else likes to ask. I like mine strong like mud with one sugar before we get into it. So don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, share it, and all that good stuff, because that really helps us spread the message about what we're doing. And today, we've got Shebs Miah and my partner, the lovely Dean. So I'm just going to let you both introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do. We'll start with Shebs.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is about you today, mate. I want to find out a bit more about yourself. So just introduce yourself and just tell us what you do, Shebs, please.
Yeah, sure, no problem at all. So, yeah, my name's Shebs. Robbie, firstly, thank you for having me over here.
Anytime.
So, I currently do SA. Been doing SA.
What's SA for people that don't know?
Service accommodation. So, that could be serviced houses or serviced apartments. Commonly, service apartments, but people do houses as well.
Cool.
So, I dabbled in that 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple in Colchester. I recently also converted a property in Gravesend, converted one property into two, and they're both used as SA as well. Currently, I'm now moving into development.
Cool.
So I currently got a bit of land in Colchester that I'm negotiating to build 8 bespoke homes. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Nice. So, Dino, just introduce yourself to everyone that might not have heard any of our other episodes or know anything about you.
They must have heard us by now.
Yeah, they got us.
So I'm Dean, second name Haggart. I'm a commercial director here at Goldbrook. I've also got my own construction and groundworks business outside of Goldbrook. I'm a quantity surveyor, so I studied QS in uni, got a degree. I'm trying to think when I left now, it's so many years ago. 2005, 2006. And I went into work for some smaller developers, and then I got into with the larger scale developers and made a jump to probably 2020 to go and do it myself. Hence, when our paths cross, you know.
Yeah. Well, we can. There's other episodes where me and Dean talk about a bit more about how we met and what we do, which you can tap into on our channel, the Tea Hut. So thanks for listening, and guys, thanks for coming down today. So Shebs, thanks for the intro. So what sort of led you to get to where you are now into property? What's your backstory? You know, where'd you come from? You know, give me a little bit of a highlight and the listeners a highlight about, you know, your background and why you are where you are now.
Sure. So previous to this, so I started out like I mentioned back in 2019. Previously, before, I was a recruitment consultant working in London, just for a firm up there. Done that for 5.5 years. It was okay, it paid well, but I knew it wasn't going to be what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, you know. So I've always wanted to get into property, but just didn't know how to. So obviously I'd done a few, you know, training sessions, seminars, and that sort of blew the doors wide open to exactly how I could get to where I want to be. All right, so that's before that, way before that. If we go back,
rewind. Yeah, go back, mate. Go way back. I want to open the book on family history right now.
Yeah, of course. So, where do I start? So, yeah, I grew up in a little place called Malden. If anyone doesn't know it, it's in Essex, a little town famous for its sea salt. Funny enough. So I grew up there, yeah, in a council house. Dad left at, you know, age 13, such a raw age. You know, grades started slipping at school at that point. But before that, I was expected to get, you know, A's and C's.
Good student.
Yeah, it just, do you know what it is? It just come naturally to me, you know. I was always the first to put my hand up, especially in science.
Keen to learn?
Yeah, it just stuck. It just came easy, right? And then Grades started slipping. Dad left. Started just going out more with my mates and stuff. And
was that an excuse to rebel?
I don't know. I just what it is. I just had a feeling of I don't care no more. You know, and you just don't realise at the time how much of an impact it has in your life when your dad leaves.
I think we can all sort of relate to that. How, you know, with your experiences growing up, Dean, because I know your mum and dad sort of separated as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they separated. I was a little bit older, I think around 2022. Yeah. I was 20 or 20.
So you were 13, so a bit of a difference in age there.
Yeah.
So, but would you both say that still had an effect on the choices you made at that point?
Oh, yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah.
Like, I was kind of glad, like, he went, but at the same time, that looking back now, like, I kind of wish he was there as well.
Yeah.
It's because he wasn't the best dad. He was quite violent towards my mum. Witnessed a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Ever since at the raw age of ever since I can remember, 4 or 5 years old, you know, old house in Haybridge, which is near Malden. Just witnessed a lot of stuff.
Was he violent towards you?
All the time. All the time.
Physically?
Yeah, absolutely. He, anytime he was in a bad mood and I don't know, toys in the way or something, he would just kick them and kick the toys out of the way, and he would just slap me and
Toys at 13.
Well, no.
What sort of fucking toys were you playing with at 13?
No, like going back,
younger, going back,
4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it before, like a little bit older when he was there at our house in Malden. That you know, he used to tell me, like, don't go on the main roads. Yeah. You know, I'll catch you on the main roads. You know, there's going to be trouble.
Get hiding.
So my mates went into town in Malden, and they're like, "Come on, let's just go into town." I was like, "Oh, I can't." My dad said I can't go use the main roads. So he's not going to see. Don't worry. Go down the main road. He bips, goes, "Come home." So obviously I avoided that. I avoided going home for about a couple of hours, and in the end, I had to go home.
Delaying the inevitable.
And he got a knife out and slashed my tyres.
Really?
Yeah. So I told you not to go on the main road. This is what's going to happen.
Boom.
Got a knife out. Went in the back garden.
How I read that is it seems like he cared, but he just didn't know how to. He didn't do it the right way. Do you know what I mean? Because he's
was he just enforcing things how he'd been brought up with that sort of
100%.
Iron fist. What I say goes. Yeah. No fucking ifs or buts.
Yeah, but there's that caring in there. He didn't want you to go and play near a main road.
Oh yeah, it's not saying it's not saying he didn't care.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Do you feel like he cared about you as a kid?
Yeah, but not enough.
Yeah,
not enough. Look, there was 5 of us, and I know obviously there's a lot of love to go around. I get that. Yeah. But yeah, not enough. Like,
do you feel like coming from family of 5 from that environment has assisted you or given you that drive, should I say, to want to do more for your family?
Absolutely. You know, I'm a father of 2 now, and you know, I would never raise my hand. No. You know, I might raise my voice.
We spoke about this a couple of weeks back, didn't we, when we had lunch?
I might raise my voice, but I'd never raise my hand to them at all. And especially as well, look, they're really young. They're like, one's 3.5, one's 1.5.
See, let's get into this, because this is what the Tea Hut's about. So we'll digress onto, you know, a bit more about what's your views on hitting kids. We've all got kids now. So Dean, what's your views? Because your kid's only a year old, right?
I think we was all probably given a spoon or something when we grew up.
My mum and you know, stepdad weren't ever too shy about giving me a little clip round the ear hole, slapped ass,
slippers,
chase me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You, to be honest, you sound like you got a lot worse than me. Like my mum and dad were quite tame. If anything, I was more afraid of my dad shouting at me more than anything. But what's your? We spoke about the hitting children thing.
Do you know what? He had like little slap hand, just like that. It's fine.
Yeah,
like, just don't do it. You know? But, a warning, and obviously it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
you just stop doing it in the end. It's just because it's just they can't process it.
What is beating a 3 or 4 or 2-year-old going to do? What is that going to do?
It's because if they don't understand, it's not going to work. It's just counterproductive, isn't it? You know what you're hoping to achieve, you're not going to achieve it by. No matter how many times you slap a hand, it's just you just don't.
As frustrating as they are sometimes,
exactly.
Like I really try my fucking hardest to. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I have to walk away because I get so stressed out of it because I'm really short fused, so I do have to walk away sometimes. But I try my best to talk them down to it. Yeah. Try and get down at their level. Yeah. Explain. It might take half hour to do it. Calm them down, but try and explain.
That's one thing I've learned is with my little girl. when I'm speaking to her, I get down to her level, so I actually get on my knees.
So you're not above.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I feel that's a good way to.
I think there's something in that though. They tell, like, if you ever watch them parenting things, they tell you to do that.
I just done that off the back.
That's a good thing to do.
I didn't know that was the way to do it, but I just feel like if you're at that level with them, then
that's right.
Do you know what I mean?
You can also double down on that as well. Like what I've done before, and it has worked, is go down to their level and give them a tight hug.
Yeah.
And just say, it's okay, it's
right.
okay, yeah. And they soon calm down. And then you go into...
Why are you doing that?
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
no,
calmly.
Calm.
The way to say
exactly.
How old are your kids?
3.5 and 1.5.
Same as mine, isn't they?
So they're going to... so August 10th, my boy.
That's it. Yeah, my anniversary. My little girl's the week before, yeah.
Yeah, so he turns 4, and my daughter turns 2 in July.
July, when?
7th.
Ah, my little girl's 2 in 14th of July.
14th of July?
Yeah.
My wife's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
We're all interconnected somehow.
I like this. So that was a good little starting point there about opinions on hitting kids. I mean, I don't agree with hitting. Like you said, I think there's a very, very fine line about showing authority and give them a little tap on the bum, like, come on, you shouldn't be doing that. But then really, should you even have to do that? Shouldn't you just, like, maybe in that situation, take them away from the situation that's going on, totally out of the environment? So like you said, Dean,
we have a naughty corner.
Do you? So I tried to introduce the naughty step with Rosie. Like, I've done it like I think 2 or 3 times. And to be fair, she has actually both times sat there and stayed there, screaming her head off, mind you, trying to make it uncomfortable for me to listen to, because she knows, I think, that I don't like hearing her cry. Because I'm always saying to them, "Oh, Daddy doesn't like hearing you cry. Don't cry." But then in their head,
you made a Roddy.
They're twisted little shits, mate. They're like, I'm just gonna cry my ass off. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, that's a really good starting point. I like that.
Yeah, educating them, innit? Just educating them on what they've done is wrong and the consequences and things.
Yeah.
But at that age, do they really?
No, they don't give a shit either.
No.
They don't give a shit if you're going to take a toy.
My little
off
girl
them,
just jumps off the beds and things. She still hurts herself, but she gets up and does it.
But recently, I'll tell you what. Something
I think
with
distraction's key with younger kids, isn't it? When they're doing something wrong, it's just take them away and do something else.
Exactly. Distract them. Something happened quite recently as well. Like my little girl always starts with my little boy.
Yeah,
she's the youngest one. She's just 1.5. Yeah. She'll pull his hair. She'll go for his.
She's
throat.
learning her strength now.
She'll go for his throat. Something new happened the other day. She pulled a chair with a big smile on her face, about to wrap it around his head.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, where has she got that from? She was dragging this dining chair.
Has he ever been like that to her?
No, but he does push her because she'll come and break his blocks or something. He's built, right? So. But where's the chair come from? I looked at her, I was like, what is going on? Like, where has she got that from?
Fucking YouTube.
She's dragging this chair across the dining room with a massive smile on her face. Yeah.
With intent.
And rocking this chair on his head. I was like, no.
You say that, you look at the cartoons we used to watch, they used to show you that, didn't like Tom and Jerry and that. And they'd put something over it, and you're watching it at that age. So
and I'm always quick to say to the missus, like, oh, fucking hell, cartoons are shit nowadays compared to what they used to be. Like.
Do you know what? I watched cartoons, I sat there and watched Mickey Mouse with my little girl yesterday, try and get her into it rather than Coco Melon, and that drives me mad, mate. And I was sitting there watching it. She actually watched it with me, and then when we went to bed, I went, I fancy watching a cartoon myself now. Remind me back in the days when I used to watch it. So we watched Woody Woodpecker.
Did you?
And yeah, mate, there's one I watched. It was called Rockabye Baby, and I remember when I watched it, I just brought back so much memories.
I used to like
and it was brilliant.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, that was weird.
Really? I didn't watch that.
You're not weird though, are you?
Ren and Stimpy.
There was loads of weird stuff on there back then, weren't there?
That was like the era of Beavis and Butthead, wasn't it?
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
it's just so weird though.
Yeah, it's American though, isn't it? It's very different. Like the English and American humour's fucking polar opposite. I think. I do like the American.
But you say that you watch something like
I like Family Guy. I think that's funny.
I do. Then you watch something like White Chicks though. That's so funny.
Yeah,
White Chicks.
Yeah, but that's sort of like.
Funny.
It is, but it's like very, very stereotypical, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Do you know?
That's what makes it so.
It is funny, you know. I like it, but so I did ask. I don't know if I sent you the message, but I might not have done. So if I didn't, my bad. I normally ask people to bring a pack of their favourite biscuits in. I notice you haven't.
Oh no, I haven't.
What is your favourite bit? If you're having a cup of tea, you know, a coffee, what is your favourite go-to biscuit? I'm putting you on the spot, I realise. Right. You haven't had time to think about this.
Yeah, no, I do have a favourite.
Go on.
But I don't have these often because it's just so bad.
Go on.
you know the Fox's Viennese, like little finger things? They're like white with a bit of chocolate in the middle.
I know the ones.
They're the ones.
Them ones.
They're the ones. I don't get them often because they're just so bad, like I say.
And they're like £5 a box.
No, they're not. They're
Nah?
yeah, they're quite cheap.
Are they?
Only like a couple of quid, yeah. You only get
I
6,
them.
mine.
No,
but,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're £5 a box when you buy 20 of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's me all over. Oh, no, I like them. Do you like them, Dean?
Hobnobs. Chocolate hobnobs.
Is that, are they you?
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, man.
I like
for
them.
a whole pack of
But they're a good dunker, them, aren't they? Like they're like the marine of the dunking world. Like they just fucking dunk them. I can't remember. There was a comedian that done a sketch about it. And I think it might have been Lee Evans, but that was really funny. And I like that. But I eat too many fucking biscuits. That's my problem. I think that's why I'm struggling to lose weight. Because I've just dubbed down to like rich tea now. You know, the plain.
Not very calorific, but do you know what?
It's still a biscuit.
It scratches that itch, yeah.
Does it though? Does it?
Just about, yeah.
Right, so I like to ask this question to the guests that come on. So, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
It's going to be a cliche, whatever I say.
Yeah, that always is. Hard-working, determined,
loyal.
Yeah, don't fucking lie if you're a backstabbing prick. Just say it.
So the 3 words I would use is, the biggest one is integrity. Meticulous.
Are you very detailed?
Everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be right, otherwise...
Perfectionist.
Perfectionist, yeah. Everything's got to be right, otherwise it's just, if it's not the way I want it...
What's the point?
Do you find that holds you back?
Doing it? And
good question, Dean.
do you know what it is? It depends what you're doing. So if like, let's just say, for example, it was, again, I've had this done before. I've set it out in a way that I want it on a spec sheet, right? And then whoever was doing it felt like they wanted to do what they wanted to do, and I come in and go, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's not the way they wanted to do it. So that can take time because I've got to reverse what they've just done now.
Yeah.
To put it to the way I wanted in the first place.
And that time, but the thing is, time. You've lost time then when you could be doing something else.
Yeah.
It could potentially not be as bad.
We had this conversation not long ago, didn't we, about like getting a certain level of perfection or standard and being okay with it, and realising, and also being okay with the fact that, you know, your level of perfect is not going to be equal to someone else's.
Also, when you deviate from the spec sheet,
that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Deviating from
especially
the spec
when they've asked
sheet.
for it as well. It's like, give me a spec sheet exactly how you want it, what you want, and then we'll do that. So okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Always going good. There's only a couple of things. It was just like, what was it? Wrong skirting board. Right. So a few of them had to be taken off. It's like the whole lot, and then whatever we didn't use, it's like they've got to go back. So
That's due diligence.
Yeah, that's
well,
good. That's So you got, hang on. So just rewinding a little bit. You've got integrity. Meticulous.
I am hardworking.
Yeah, you got to say it. Yeah, I feel like from what you've told me about yourself that you are.
I'll tell you what. Take away hardworking, active, just not on social media.
In all aspects of your life, active.
I would say so, yeah, but just not. Do you know what? I'm really shit at social media.
I'm
just really shit.
I think that's a new thing.
I'll do a whole day, and I'm like, do you know what? I forgot to post.
Yeah, but okay. So
yeah.
So that's we've gone that way as humans by integrating literally social media into every fucking aspect of our lives. And documenting everything we do on social media. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I just think it's whether okay. So for me, I think you're either a consumer on social media or you're a creator. You know, and for me, I only consume content that's in relation to what I create. Yeah. Really. Yeah. I don't really sit there and watch other people's bullshit TikTok videos about how to cook a curry and all that sort of shit. I'm not you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't sift through YouTube and watch endless videos on shit.
See, how I find it is I don't want to like, if I'm going to do, like, I'm going on holiday or something like that, I don't want to have it all in my head that I just got to go and post things on there because I'm going to enjoy myself.
I'll post for the gram.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm like, I just want to go and enjoy it. I don't need to be posting on there. I just want to enjoy the moment. And when you're worrying about social media, I've got to post this on there and that, you're not actually enjoying the moment.
No.
And
do you know what it is? It becomes a burden then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's always on your mind, isn't it?
This thing needs feeding and it's like, do it in a minute. I can't do it. And especially as well, like, a prime example, when I went to Turkey last year, I wanted to document a few things like me leaving the house and things like that and going to the airport and all that. With kids, how do you do that?
impossible.
I had about 3 luggages and a fucking stroller on my fucking shoulder. Going, right, come on, let's go, quick.
Yeah.
But then you get yourself pissed off because then you're like, oh, I wish I did that. So you set yourself this target and you're not hitting it. So do you know what I mean? So
I think social's a great thing. It can be damaging, I guess, if you're using it in the wrong way. But that's the same with anything, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a particular feature on Facebook that I really like, and my missus told me about it, that she gets it done every year. And at the end of every year, you can go on a website and it downloads all of your posts and it, like a screenshot thing, and it sends you them in an actual photo album, a physical album through the post. It's like £6 a year, and that's like, because I'm old school and so is my missus, and I like a photo album. Yeah. And nowadays, who gets photos printed anymore? No one. They're all on your device. Yeah. But then they're easy to lose, aren't they? Yeah. So I still like that physical element of having a photo.
Well, we spoke about this with my friends on Saturday, and he said that he likes the Facebook because you'd always if you lost your phone, you just log onto your Facebook and it's all there on a different device, so it's not on your.
And let's face it, right? I mean, on going a bit deeper into it, we wouldn't have met had it weren't been for social media. Because I went, me and you met Dean on Andy's first 3-day event that he held, and obviously we both heard of Andy through social media. LinkedIn for me, that's where I sort of saw Andy for the first time, and the same with you, Shebs. You know, you come up to my East Anglia Property Summit event that we put on. I met you there with Louis and Lewis, however he likes to pronounce it.
Lewis.
Fucking chop my head off for that.
I was like Louis as well. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, that's how he pronounces it. He writes it in a weird way. It's like, but anyway, I think social's a great thing, because without that, then we wouldn't be sat here right now. We wouldn't even be doing this, because this is a thing. This podcasting is a social media platform, and as such. So I think it's awesome if you use it in the right way. Yeah. Like anything else.
Absolutely.
So going a bit deeper into it, where do you think your drive comes from, Shebs?
Poverty background. That's where it comes from. So, like I said, we was in a council house, and my dad left when I was 13. There was like my brother there, my sister there, my younger sister. I've got 3 sisters. You see, it's the older sister left a while ago. My middle sister, she got married, so she got her own house in Chelmsford. So it was only like my brother left at one point, then he got married, then he left, and then at the end it was just me and my sister and my mum for ages. But just having no bloody money. Yeah, just having no money. I remember Baker's Oven back in the day? Yeah. So Malden had a Baker's Oven. It's called Greg's now, but they've got benches outside, and this guy pulled up in a Bentley, and he just looked the bollocks. He just looked so good, and I just couldn't stop staring at him. It's just like, it just had a nice car.
Oi, Dean.
Yeah. It was like an inspirational way.
I'm with you. I'm only joking.
He'd be staring in Baker's Oven.
But it was just pure inspiration. It's just like, and the only question will come into my head: how did you do it?
How did you get it?
How did you do it? And we all get the same hours in a day, right? There's no like magic pill or magic bullet. Yeah, there are mentors who can
pull it out of you,
fast track you in a way. I don't even like using that word.
No,
fast track,
that's bullshit.
They can show you, but you still got to put in the work.
Yeah, it's all down to you as an individual. Isn't it? We talk about this all the time, don't we? Like with the training and people going, "Oh, is it good? How can you recommend so and so's course?" And it's like, well, I could recommend it if you were a similar person to myself who is willing to go out, put the work in, like you just said, because it's not. You can have the best mentor in the world and pay a ridiculous high ticket entry for that, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the results, does it?
No, you got to take action. And there was a few people that just go around to do these courses. And
Course junkies. Yeah, there's loads of them, mate. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that, but so that was your driver.
So it's just coming from a poverty background. My mum was on benefits. Anyone listening to this who knows me, I went to the Plume School in Malden, and you'll know I had the same blazer for 5 years. And truth be told now, confession, right? I always said, oh no, it fits. It's absolutely fine. But tight. I couldn't fucking afford another one. But it was
tight on you though.
It was blue.
Yeah.
And then because of the sun because it
was faded.
Secondary school, it was 5 years.
Yeah.
And it went from blue to purple.
Where it's been fucking.
It's been clean.
And sun bleached, and everyone's like, "Oh mate, you need a new blazer." I was like, "No, it still fits."
Like bits of wall hanging off.
Because I couldn't bear to tell them and go, "No, do you know what? I can't afford a new one." Because
of society's opinion of people like that.
Well, you're just so young back there, and
it's pressure, isn't it?
I say that's probably tough for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's constantly.
I get that. I can relate to that.
People going out at the weekends, and it's just like, "Oh, you coming out?" I'm like,
can't.
But in the end, though, rewinding back, earlier secondary days, I did work for like a little computer firm.
Yeah.
Learned how to build a PC. Built a PC out of a box of scraps.
Yeah.
And got that up and running. Had broadband. I'm pretty much one of the first people that had broadband in my school. No one really did. It was like dial-up back then.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just put the word out saying, look, if you want any music CDs, £1 a track, minimum 10 tracks.
Hustling.
Yeah, I had to.
Napster.
Napster, LimeWire. They used to give me a list, so I used to go away,
CD.
download them, burn it,
Yeah.
and then also as well the Genie SIM cards.
Yeah.
300 free text, top over tenner.
Were you the DVD guy as well?
Nah,
I didn't.
Nah,
you're a bit old for that.
But yeah, it was music CDs, SIM cards, and then Friday, Saturday nights used to work in a Chinese takeaway, 35 quid a night, 70 quid.
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
You know.
How old were you when you were doing that?
12, 13.
So you've known.
I had a better money, but they used to go towards like bills at home.
Yeah, help your mum.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, instead of concentrating on my GCSEs, I was like worried about money. You know, what we can do if you don't have
That's
money.
a different stress, isn't it?
That's a different stress, and it's a new stress because you're being catapulted into a role that is not meant for you up until, I don't know, 16 or 18 or something.
Well, yeah. Well, let's face it, schools don't teach you about money, do they?
No, they don't. But do you know what it is? Having looked back, I'm so glad I went through that.
Yeah.
Because it's made me the man I am today.
Totally.
If it was all given to me, then I'd expect it to be given to me. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And I don't ever regret being in that situation. I don't ever like look back and go, oh, do you know, I wish I had it differently.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do within your certain situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like you can't. Wishes don't come true. Only action.
Yeah.
You know, only you can change the course of your destination,
of your own journey.
Yeah, you know, you've got to do something, and just from a young age, I just knew how to do stuff. You know what I mean? I just go out and do it.
Do you feel like you've always been in control of your own destiny?
Yeah, 100%. I never did well at school. Again, another confession. My CV's a complete lie. Only,
hey, mate, fucking hell.
Only the grades at school.
Yeah.
So I put on my CV like I've got like 5 C's or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
In reality, it's like 3 Ds, 4 Fs, E and a G.
I only got 3.
But I did go to uni.
Did you?
Yeah, because what it was...
What did you do?
I done business finance.
Oh, did you?
But I was one of the late goers.
Yeah.
Because from the point where I left school, I got shit grades. From 16 to 19, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I was from 16 to 19, I was working in factories, making school furniture.
Just making money.
And it was just like double glazing firms, fucking building windows and door canvassing and God knows what else. It was just
sales.
Yeah, it was just like, I was like, fucking, I don't enjoy this. It's like, and instantly, I think that's when it sort of started settling in. It's like, you fucked your life up.
Yeah.
And that's what kept repeating over my head, you know, and then I went back to university, tried to sort my life out. I had to go to college first because I had shit grades. I had to do an access course. Done the access course in Cornwall. Yeah. Because I just wanted to get away. So I spent 2 years there and then come up to Royal Docks Business School in London to do business finance there. Yeah. Passed that. Fell into recruitment. So I originally wanted to be a stockbroker or a trader. Yeah. Again, sent out my CV to loads of different firms. I work for free, or an apprentice, and you don't have to pay me sort of thing. I just want to sort of like learn the ropes and learn the trade. Nothing at all. So I just fell into recruitment. Done a bit of retail before that, just to sort of get some money. Fell into recruitment, and then done that for 5.5 years, and now into property.
I remember when I think it was about 2021. I went to go for an interview, and they went, "No, sorry, it must have been, 21." I went for an interview and they actually said to me, "No, you're too qualified over this." I was thinking, "What?
Too qualified?"
Yeah.
You definitely told lies
No,
on
I
your
was
CV.
honestly, and I was like, "What? How can you be told you're too qualified? Surely that's a good asset for someone to be qualified."
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
I've never been, so taking the other side of the coin, I've never been employed, ever. I've always been self-employed.
yeah.
Yes, I've contracted for other people, but that's always been on a self-employed basis. So I've always been in charge of myself, if you like, and I've always known that I'm no one's property in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, I can always just go, "Oh, fuck this, I don't want to do. I'll go and do something else."
Yeah.
And that's always been quite difficult being self-employed, but it's something I've always enjoyed.
Do you know what? I wish I'd done it sooner.
Yeah, I mean,
wish I'd
I've
done it
never
sooner.
known what it's like to be like on the books with someone and have to do what they want you to do all the time.
It's horrible.
I've never had that.
It's
Like,
horrible.
what clock watching you? When you're going in, when you're going out.
You know, so I was late sometimes at work in London, but trains were late. you know, and sometimes they're like, some of them even cancel.
Yeah.
And I apologise, obviously, when I got in and then made up the time at the back end. So, that if I, for example, if I was leaving I was supposed to finish at 5 o'clock, I'd leave at like 5:30 or 5:45 or whatever. So I'd more than make it up.
Yeah.
But it was just like, leave earlier.
Yeah.
Leave earlier. And it's just like, in the end, I was like, leaving at like 5:30 in the bloody morning.
Really?
Yeah, it's just...
That's what I used to do, mate. Go and fucking get up at 4, leave at 4:30, 5 in the morning, get back at 7 at night. It was relentless. Even being self-employed, I just said I felt was better than being on the books or somewhere, but I don't think it necessarily was. It's just, I think being a subby and being self-employed in construction especially, you've always got something to prove.
Yeah.
Because there's always lads on the books that get treated better than you. They stand there fucking resting on their shovels all day, and then there's you and your subbies all working their bollocks off. So that's definitely a culture in construction. So why property? What made you want to go into property?
So I've been in a HMO before, right? Just as a student, and I don't know, just
realised how
lucrative
lucrative it was.
That cost 400 quid. That cost 400 quid. That room cost 400 quid. So, oh, bloody, he's doing really
Whoever
well.
owns this is doing well.
And I actually asked the property manager. I said, "Is this your property?" He said, "No. I manage on behalf of someone called Craig." And I was just like, "Oh, can I meet him?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Look, sign this contract. You can drop the contract by hand to his office."
Yeah.
And for my last year uni, I stayed in a HMO in Chelmsford. So I went and met this Craig. I said, "Look, I've got the contract for you. It's all signed." And I just bent his ear a little bit, and he just said, "Yeah, just because it all started 4 years ago. I bought my own house, and then thereafter, I've got now 24 houses in Chelmsford and 2 in Manchester."
Yeah.
Now looking back at that, I was like, "Bloody hell!" But he's done really well. But I bet now some of them are bloody rent to rent.
Yeah, yeah, of course they are. Yeah, he don't own all them houses.
No, but he had a nice Porsche outside his. It wasn't a new one, but it was it's still a nice car.
Nice Porsche.
But I bet now looking back, it's like a few of those properties, if not all, were rent to rent. Yeah, you just didn't realise at the time. Yeah, but he's done well out of it. So,
do you think the bubble's going to burst on serviced accommodation and rent to rent soon?
I think more legislation is going to come in.
Yeah.
I think now where we you didn't require a license.
That's going to happen.
Some councils now are moving into like you must have a license for this type of use.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing.
Because you need to have a license for HMO, don't you?
You do, yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before that happens in the SA world, right?
Yeah, I mean, license for HMO if it's 5 rooms or more, but some councils do less selective licensing for like anywhere to like 3-4 bedrooms. But check with your local council, I suppose. But yeah, I think they're going to introduce licensing now, which I think it's another way to make money, and B, it will just push out all the shit ones who just grotty essays and I think mobile pictures.
There's a lot of them.
There is. So I think then push them out because you'll have to meet a certain standard. If that standard's not met, then you can't trade.
Yeah.
But I think more legislation is going to come in now as well because we're already doing this to pick up guest IDs.
Yeah.
Verify that guest to ensure that their address is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're already doing that anyway, and all our essays are definitely licensable. So I think that's going to happen.
I think
so. There'd be like an audit and stuff that happens.
Yeah, I think they'll probably send someone around.
So they do it now then.
Nah, it's unregulated, and that's why there's so many people getting into it, and that's why it's such a hot market at the moment, because there's no entry level to it. It is literally just fucking pick it up and have a go, basically.
Pretty much,
and it's quite dangerous. I mean, I'm looking at getting into it myself, but I'm realising that this a saturated market for sure.
Do you know what it is? It can pay, like with anything, it can pay well, but it's also bloody risky.
Yeah.
It's
you're guaranteeing rent for someone.
And exactly. What about the interest rates and stuff? How's that affect it all?
Well, no, because if you're agreeing a rent with someone,
it
doesn't the interest rate don't affect you because you're agreeing a fixed rent.
No, but then
unless you do
it affects them.
That's what I'm saying. But then
unless you do a buy to SA, you buy your own, convert into an SA, then.
I'm a bit of a novice with all this.
If you're
I don't really know rent to rent.
If you're rent to rent, it is literally as simple as it sounds.
Yeah.
You're renting it off a landlord at an agreed fixed rate for a fixed term of time.
Yeah.
So
they don't.
The interest rate don't affect you.
They have to take it on.
They have to take it on the chin. Yeah. But they also get the benefit of capital allowances if they own.
But then that does go back to that. Then so then that can have an effect.
Well, yeah, because they can have an effect because they can push their rent.
Do they do less termed rent to rent then?
Normally, what I'm finding is when people are offering rent to rent deals to landlords, they're offering a minimum of 3 years guaranteed rent.
Oh right, okay.
So is that what
some are 2 years?
Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
2 years with a 6-month break clause.
Break clause, yeah.
But if you're working with an agent who they don't know you, you don't know them. There's not a relationship there. They might even go, look, can we just do it for 12 months initially
and see how it goes?
A 6-month break clause,
which probably ain't a bad thing to do, is it?
Yeah, and then renegotiate at the end of the 12 months. More than likely, they'll probably bump up the rent as well. So, but it all depends who you're working with. Yeah.
So, just like why property for you, Dean? Because you've both got really different backgrounds. Obviously, Shebs was in
when you say property, like developments more.
Yeah, why? Well, I mean, your background's very similar to mine in respect to the groundworks and your business that you currently own. But you're a trained QS, and for those that don't know, that's a quantity surveyor. So why have you decided to go into property, do it for yourself, rather than just sticking to your business and what you're already doing?
Just because obviously it's something I know and understand.
And you want shitloads of money.
Yeah, you just see it's happy, like the companies I work for.
There's no shame in admitting that you like money.
No, not at all. It's
fucking hell, lads, come on.
It's obviously money, mate, but the money buys me my freedom and choice. You know?
It's what comes with the money.
That's the thing for me. Just be able to, if I want to go and work.
The money's the tool, right?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, it just buys me freedom. And yeah, so I just because I've worked in that industry, I can see how lucrative it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've seen it from the bottom end, like I have. You've been the contractor, where you're winning packages, and you're thinking, "Fucking hell, some good money in that package." And then your mind's opening, going, "Well, hang on a minute. If this is just that package, what about the whole lot?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought about.
With my construction business, I'd rather just I kind of try and stick to like civils and groundworks and that. Because my energy, especially with what we're doing with developments, to go and procure all of that for the groundwork,
that's a lot,
for the thing. Yeah, and doing things like when I first started out, he was doing like extensions and that. And you know what? There's some of these extensions and that for private people. It's more of a hassle. And
if anyone out there listening wants me to do an extension via my construction business, they can fuck off because I'm not interested.
It was just for me while I'm building a business and you're having to deal with all these different packages and coordination and all that. I just like, give me the groundworks. We do that. We know how to do that. Give me
your bread and butter.
Give me a load of them just to do the groundworks. It's less work for me and just about the same amount of money.
But you're
over a bit more.
Your experience and your education has obviously been a massive bearer in the decision that you've made to go ahead into property.
Yeah,
and feeling comfortable in doing so because you've got that background knowledge already.
Yeah, just the people around me. Obviously, I built them relationships with people.
Whereas for you, Shebs, it ain't been like that, has it? You've come from a different background, i.e. recruitment, and got into property because you've seen how lucrative it is. There's a common theme there. You've both seen how lucrative property
chasing the money,
chasing the pound note,
but
isn't it?
Also as well, it's other things. Obviously, look, people who are in property are generally quite wealthy. All depends what you want to do. What do you want to do with that wealth? You know, for me, I've got a family now, so spend more time with them. You know, like I could, if I wanted to, wake up one day and go, do you know what? I don't really fancy it today. I'm gonna spend time with my kids, right? I can do that. Whereas before, I'd have to put a sickie or something, or
Yeah.
But the thing is as well, like a few weeks ago, I was really, really ill. I had like a chest infection, sore throat. I couldn't really talk on the phone. But you know, as employed, you still have to go, and you get a couple of days off or something. So I'll try and come in now. You know, whereas and
you feel like you're doing something wrong if you're having a day off as well, isn't it?
Don't
get me wrong.
To
be honest with you,
I get that.
Where I am at the moment, I don't like having a day off because I'm building my business.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But I want to get to a point where it runs itself. I'm not involved in it. And just.
So what does success? I mean, that sort of links on nicely from what you just said. What does success mean to you?
Success means to me. Really, it's just it means a number of things really. So success, the whole array of, for me to be successful is when I've hit my sort of like personal goals, I guess, to create that success, if that makes sense. And my personal goals, there's quite a few of them.
The thing you'll find with that though is you'll hit them goals and you still won't be satisfied. You'll go again and you go again. So,
but then the perception will be he's successful, you know. But I you know, for me, I just want to have a string of properties, get them all cash flowing. Finally, one day, you know, build my own home. That's
the end goal.
That's what I really want to do. That'll be for our forever home. Yeah. And the current one that we live in at the moment, we'll just rent that out. But you know, I've said this to you before. There's going to be a point in my life where I've got everything, and I know there will be because I personally believe that. Right?
Yeah.
That is when I will be travelling to, you know, these poor countries, you know,
helping, giving back,
because, you know, when you die, you can't take nothing with you.
You
can't.
What happens when you've got all that wealth?
You know, it all stays here. So instead of it staying in the bank, you know, HMRC getting bloody 19% of it or 25% of it.
Fuck them cunts.
I'd rather use that money and the cash flow to bring water into these villages and build schools and bring electricity into these villages. You know, it's not for everyone, like I say, but for me, that will be my mark. That will be my mark on this earth. My purpose.
My volunteering thing is because I want to do volunteering, but mine's more for like animals, marine animals. I love marine animals. Like I want to get to a point where my little girl's old enough that my partner, my little girl, maybe another one, and we just go and do this volunteering stuff for all the animals. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing. But that gives me that freedom. Well,
all right, Mr. Greenpeace.
Oh mate, I love it. Mate, do you know what? One of the biggest bugbears when I see someone throws a bit of rubbish on the floor.
I hate that.
Bastard. I do honestly, and I have to bite my tongue.
People, you must hate it when you go on site and see the guys on site. Most of them are generally fucking apes, aren't they? You know, that's the stereotypical builder for you, isn't it? Like, you know, throwing their shit on the floor, all that bullshit. Yeah. So, from what you were just saying, I get the. Do you feel like you've got a constant yearn or feeling to want to prove people wrong?
There's a lot of people who, and I know there is, especially like from like my past life, if you like, who.
What past life?
You know, just before I had, you know, went into college, bettered myself, if you like. So that past where I was just like in and out of jobs and all that, who probably thought I wouldn't make anything of myself, who's going to be constantly in crime, if you like. And but yeah, I guess those people probably thought I fall flat on my face, and that's not happened. It's because that drive from coming from poverty, and until you know that, or until you experience it yourself,
you don't know what it feels like.
It's not going to be there. Yeah. And so that drive, you might have like motivation, but motivation only lasts so bloody long, doesn't it?
Yeah. That goes to the core, doesn't it? When you've had nothing.
Exactly. It's got to be something else. What's continually burning that fire? Yeah. There's got to be, you know, and that for me, that is it. You know, and I won't stop. I won't give up. There's going to be bad days. You know, I accept that. Yeah. There's going to be days I'm so stressed out where, you know, it's off the charts, but.
That's normal, though, isn't it? We're all like that.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine the next day. You know, I'll be fine the next day.
Is there a point in your life that you can really pinpoint, look back, and say, "I regret that decision," or "I regret doing that," and the outcome of making that mistake? Nah, nothing. You feel like you've taken something positive from every shit situation you've been in.
It's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's either a blessing or a lesson.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's always something out of it, isn't there?
Yeah,
exactly. Always something to learn out of any situation.
Yeah,
you know, and some people, you know, come and go in your lives, and you know, I just I had loads of friends back in the day, right? Loads,
Yeah.
right? But now I can probably count them like one hand.
It's because you're not giving.
And I don't even really see them anyway.
Yeah.
So more now, as I'm pushing forwards, it's more like business associates, people like yourselves, who I'm mixing more with. And I love that.
Yeah.
You know, when I go to like networking events, yes, there are some who sort of like bend your ear who are starting out, but there are some there as well who are on the same path for you, and you just chat.
They're the golden ones that you've got to go to meet the people that you need 100%. To meet, though. And I think aligning yourself with the same people or similar is important. Wouldn't you agree, Dean?
Yeah, 100%.
When I went home from your property summit, I went home, stepped in the door. My missus was there. Kids were in bed because it was quite late.
Yeah.
And I come in. She goes, "You look happy." I was like, "I had a brilliant day."
Yes.
I had a brilliant day. Yeah.
Buzzing.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely. She goes, "Look, you should get out more to these events." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I will try." But I was just absolutely buzzing.
That's what it's all about.
You coming to the next one?
Yeah.
He's
you play golf?
He's going to give it a go. He's going to be with me on the
I
bought
ticket 2 because I didn't want to show everyone up in ticket 1.
so
So it's just going to be a boring.
Very modest.
I'm going to be winning all the time. So I'll step down a little bit, have you guys have the fun, and
hey, that's what it's all about, right? And people, I'll say this now, like, I don't earn money from these events. I'm probably lucky if I just about break even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might cover the cost. I don't do it to make the money.
No.
I do it for exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
That moment where you went home from our first event that we done last year, and you said to Mrs. I had a really good day. That is why I did it, and that is why I do it, to create that atmosphere for people to come, meet new people, buzz off it, because I know what it makes me feel like when I've met someone who's similar to me, and we've had a little idea together that day. I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Putting things together, putting the nuts and bolts together.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what it's all about, you know? It's just, love it. Absolutely love it.
If you could go back and have your time again, would there be anything that you'd do different? And I know you're probably going to say similar to what most people say in this. It's like, well, no, I wouldn't change that because I wouldn't be me.
Yeah, the thing is, if you go back changing it, chances are whatever you didn't
the outcome would be different.
You're going to fulfill on the other side, and it could have a more disastrous effect at that end rather than at this end.
Is there anything that you've been through that you particularly wouldn't want to experience again or wish you didn't have to experience?
So... Yeah, I don't.
Mate, we're all friends here, mate. We're all friends here.
So, when I was 18, I got into a bit of a scuffle, if you like, but it wasn't actually me, but I was there.
Is this similar to what we spoke about?
Yeah. And long story short, this, someone was walking a dog and he got a bit leery and someone kicked a boot in and I was there sort of thing. And the police got called, everyone ran off, but the guy held me on the fence. I was on like 18, I was like, didn't work out, I was skinny, I was bloody weak, as you like. And then he held me up the fence and I got arrested.
Yeah.
Look, I was there and I know exactly who did it.
Killer by association.
But, I was there. Fast forward, got interviewed and all that sort of stuff. I got charged, got released on bail.
Yeah.
This went on now for like a year and just over a year, I think, or a year and a bit.
What, going to court for
it?
Yeah.
And it ended up going to Crown. And just fast forward. I didn't land anyone in it. I should have done, being completely honest.
Yeah. Because they didn't stand up for you. Where were they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I'm so scared of going to prison. I was like, well, you got to come forward, mate. You got to come forward, sort this out because it was you. So that didn't happen anyway. I still kept my mouth shut. And then
I take you ain't friends with him.
No.
You got the shit for it.
Yeah, I got the shit for it. And then I got sentenced 9 months, done 4.5 in
Yeah.
Norwich.
Hey!
Oh, you got put away, did you?
Yeah, I did.
That's what I mean. He stood up for someone else, and you told me about this a
It
few.
didn't seem like it was. The guy didn't get hurt properly, like badly, did he?
He had a few bruises across his chest and face and stuff.
Strong, wasn't it? Then?
But that point in my life taught me to just not trust people. I had
face value.
From that. I had proper trust issues with people.
Yeah.
I just couldn't
I
trust
bet you
people.
did.
Yeah, I just couldn't trust people. I always had a mindset, if you like, of like, is he telling the truth?
Guards up all the time.
Yeah. And at that turning point, I was just like, right, I struggled to get in jobs anyway.
Yeah.
I really need to bet myself. I've got 4.5 months. I've got thinking time. They've got like a little like a classroom for education sort of stuff. So I used to attend every week just to keep myself busy because you're banged up for like 23 hours. And
Shit,
then, yeah. So I went to class. It's just like, because when you do the education, you get like £7 a week or something.
Yeah.
So it's just like this little account in prison. So that used to build up. But I started getting prospectuses for like Plymouth University, London universities, and
was that the turning point for you?
that was the turning point in my life. I got home, released from prison, told my mum exactly what I was going to do. She didn't like it because
was that because that was beyond her belief?
I'm young. I'm leaving the house. Are you going to be alright? All these questions.
Just being a mum.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a black BMW at the time, Pride and Joy. Fucking sold that. Yeah. To fund my journey, my next journey. Yeah. So my life's always been about sacrifices. It's like, well, you can have that or that. It's not that and that. Yeah. You know,
can't have your cake and eat it all the time.
No, exactly. So I've constantly made sacrifices, constantly. And I think, you know, anyone listening to this now, if you need to get to where you want to go, you've got to be prepared to make those sacrifices. Yes, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Which includes cutting off connections.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
because
it does.
I went through a similar situation to you, a bit younger than you when you're at 18. Similar, very similar. Like, I was in a group of people one night. I was about 15. It all kicked off. Everyone had a drink. You know, there was fists and feet flying around everywhere. Got a bit leery. I was the only one that got singled out because they knew my mum, like, and I was the only one got nicked for it. Yeah. And because, like you, I didn't actually have the, like, it ain't in me to be a grass. No. I was always raised. My dad, right, bless his soul, he always used to say, there's one thing in the world that I hate the most, it's a fucking grass. Yeah. And I got brought up with that. So when I got nicked for it, I was like, well, I'm not going to grass on my mates. Yeah. My mates.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get me? Mates. My mates. And I got fucked for it. I was young, and this guy was in they self-induced a coma for him for like a month or some shit because he had a little bit of a bleed on the brain. Quite fucking serious, really, when you think back.
Yeah, he could have died.
Very, very close. Yeah, very serious. And at the time, obviously, I didn't give a shit about that. But I said to my mates, I was like, look, I'm going to get the fucking shit here. Yeah. I need, like, the police basically said to me, look, we know you're not the only one who did it, but you're the only name we've got. Yeah. So we need you to give us names. And I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. Like, well, they were like, well, if you can get someone else to come forward, then that's the same thing. And I sort of spoke to my mate about it, and he was like, I ain't going to do that. He's like, I'm going to get in shit for that. And I was like, wow. like you said, like, I was like, fuck.
And then you really know when it comes to the crunch, who's around you.
No cunt. And that's what I'd like to say. If there's anyone out there of a younger demographic listening to this, you know, I think it's key to understand who you've got around you at all times. And especially at that age, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Don't sit there and think that, you know, everyone's going to be out there for you with your best interest at heart, because they're not, are they? No.
And also as well, just to sort of point out as well, it's okay to lose friends.
Of course it is.
There's you know, these so-called friends. If there's like, you know, anyone listening to this now, if like any of your mates sort of like have guns and knives, and you feel that it is wrong, and you feel like you want to break away, just break away. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. You know, that's just, I don't know what reason you would give them, but it's okay to walk away. It's okay, because obviously you don't want to be ended up in prison or behind bars, and, you know, for several years for carrying a knife or a gun.
No, not for shit.
Or anything else they're up to, any sort of like drugs. It's okay to walk away
if that's not you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Everything's choice, isn't it?
Of course.
Would you both agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you also both agree that you've both made bad choices in your lives?
Yeah,
100%.
Do you feel like you're both paying for them now in a way?
Do you know what? We were talking about that. Like when you asked, how do you say Shebs. When you asked Shebs about what would you change, if I, like, in my head is, I wish I settled down quicker. But then would I be in a situation then if I had a young family? Would I have made that choice to do that? Do you know what I mean? To jump in and do.
Everything's relative, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a hard question to ask, because automatically, I mean, I always say no, I wouldn't change, because then I wouldn't be me. Yeah. I'd be a different version of me. And I don't know what that version would be. So it's not easy for me to sit there and say, yeah, I'll change that. Because like you said, action, reaction, consequences, it changes the course of your life. And
exactly.
I think down to silly things like, oh, fuck, what if I'd have waited another minute to cross that road? Yeah. Or had I gone earlier, would I got hit? Do you know what I mean? I go deep into it sometimes. And I think it all boils down to everything being choice.
But essentially.
And we all make bad ones.
Yeah. You, actually you are where you're supposed to be at right this second.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. There's going to be, influences in your life. If you didn't do that then, it could change who you are today.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't smoke weed and dabble in drugs back then, my wife told me, she goes, yeah, but what if you then dabbled now?
Yeah.
And you've got 2 kids.
And you were experiencing drugs for the first
do you know
time.
What? I really want to try that. Like all my mates are like smoking weed or something or whatever. They don't, but I'm just saying if they did and I had mates like that, can I just try some? See, do you know what I mean? There'll always be a curiosity because I've done it at this end of my life. Yeah. I have no need for it.
The right time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
I'm similar. Like I had a really bad cocaine problem when I was younger after my dad died around that time in my life, and I think I'm glad that I went through those experiences then.
Yeah.
And abused it so much and realised how bad it was then. Yeah. Because if I'd have got the taste for it now with the personality that I've got, which is an addictive one, I wouldn't be able to be a dad. Yeah. I'd be a very, very, very shit one. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So you see people doing it now all around, and they're just fucking.
Know, each to their own. But I'm glad that I like you guys. I done those things at the right time of my life before I had responsibilities. You know what I mean, or dependence, should I say? Yeah. So yeah, I like the honesty today, Shebs. I really appreciate it. I feel like I had to drag it out of you a little bit, but I'm really glad.
It's I don't like talking about it so much because
why?
You know what it is? It's people,
are you afraid of the stigma that comes with it?
It's
be honest.
As soon as kind of not afraid. It's like as soon as people hear prison, they're like,
yeah, I get it.
What he's done.
Yeah, they start googling you up and that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
like me. Don't Google Dean.
And people always just judge instead of asking you, shit, what happened? You know,
of course.
They were like, yeah, that must have been awful for you. And they just have
auto judgment.
Exactly. You know, I just don't give it the time of day. So I just don't like bringing that up. But obviously, look, if people
that's going to help someone though. Yeah. To know that you're a successful man. You've managed to come from council estate, humble beginnings, like myself.
Yeah. Had issues, got over there.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. I mean, this podcast is about that. It's about finding people like yourself with a story to tell that are willing to tell it. Because you could have sat there and not said any of that. And I know you wanted to. I could see it in your eyes. I've been looking at you for like 10 minutes going, I'm going to get it out of you.
Are you sure there's not nothing?
Are you sure you ain't done nothing, Shebs? I know you have, right? But, I'm glad that you've been honest. And I'm glad that I've been able to put it out of you a little bit. Because I know that there's people out there that will listen to that and go, you know what? Even though I've done stupid things and made mistakes and done that, blah, 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 that doesn't define who you are, does it?
No.
But some people would allow that to define who they are.
It's the voices around you, you know, and they're quite dangerous. And a prime example is if you've got a relationship, right, and just keep, and obviously you argue with your missus and all that sort of stuff, right?
Nah, not me.
If you
bollocks,
as soon as you tell someone else or others, they start getting involved.
Chinese whispers,
and the relationship just gets weaker and weaker and weaker.
I think that's why me and my missus are so solid because she's got no friends. I ain't really got many, and we've got no people like a social circle where she can. If I've pissed her off one day, there ain't really many other people she can go and moan to apart from the dog. Yeah. And same with me. I the only people that really hear my problems is Dean because we work together, and in that we share things on a personal level all the time.
We did it earlier, didn't we?
We did earlier. Like we were just like, I could tell he was being, he had the. We got a lot of things going on externally within our businesses at the moment. So with that brings a lot of stress. Yeah. And I think it's nice to have a, someone that you can bounce off like that because, I moved away, 10, 11 years ago to Norfolk and didn't know anyone, and it's been hard for me to build up that social circle again. And I've only been doing that over the past sort of 4 or 5 years, doing this sort of stuff. And like you said earlier, linking back to aligning yourself with the people
100%
that bring the best out in you.
Exactly.
And I think
so important.
Mate, it's massive. So
important. And you don't realise it's so overly looked. And more importantly now as well, just going slightly off topic here.
No, you're right.
Is people don't realise this, but having a good woman in your life.
Oh, mate, I tell you what.
Mate, it's so overlooked.
Can I? I'm just going to interject, right? No, but years ago, when I was struggling in my dark days, my mum went to see a, what they call them, like a clairvoyant, you know, like a medium person, because I was in a bad way, really bad. You know, I was doing all sorts. We spoke about that before, but I was in a bad way. And she obviously she wanted to know, you know, she was just trying to seek some sort of, I don't know, a bit of comfort somewhere to try and know that I was going to be all right and whatever. And this woman actually said to my mum, don't worry about your son. The love of a good woman will save his life.
Was you with anyone at the time?
Nah, I just split up from my missus about 6 months before. Really shitty.
Not the current one?
No, not the current one. Just split up with someone else, my ex, before my current. And my life was pretty fucking shit at that point. It was really bad. Hence my mum going to see this medium to try and get some answers. Yeah, like as if the medium's going to have them. Or whatever. But yeah, she said that to her. She said, the love of a good woman will save your son. And my mum was like, well, fucking hell, you ain't got one at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And she come home and told me a few other things, and I laughed at it and didn't really take it on board. And then 6 months later...
Got straight on Tinder.
No, I've never used Tinder or nothing. No, I haven't. Honest to God, I've never used nothing like that. And 6 months later, I met my missus. Totally didn't have any friends in common, 100 miles apart, didn't know each other. And we're married now with 2 kids, house, business. And that did work. And, mate, I just wanted to underline what you said. That to me, that is massive. And not having Ali in my life, I don't know where I'd be.
It's so overlooked. It's so overlooked. That, like, having that woman who's going to be in your corner every single time. Because my wife...
Or man.
Or man,
We're not prejudiced here.
Having that partner in your life, that solid partner who's in your corner, cheering in your corner, who's, you know, who you can go to bend their ear, go, look, I've had a really shit day, this has happened, that's happened, and they're just giving you solid advice. Yeah. It just helps so much as well. But not only that as well, like any elements of my business, I'll you know, if I'm like writing heads of terms, for example, it's like, right, can you just read that? Just make sure it's all watertight, she'll run over it, she'll just go around correcting things, go, change this. And it's just so nice having my wife there who I can bounce off. Otherwise, if you're on your own...
I get that.
You're on your own. Mate, where'd you go?
I need her to rein me in sometimes. And I got like Dean does it to me as well. Like, I got these wild ideas, and I'm like, yeah, fucking mental. You know what I mean? And they're like, my missus is like, whoa, have you thought about that? Do you know what I mean? Have you thought about that? Yeah. It's like, no, always the voice of reason, I find. Yeah. For me, anyway.
So important. So important.
So before we we've actually like chewed through it nearly an hour now, which has been really good conversation. But before we sign off, I just want to get your opinion on a few things, really, both of you, really, that I've been reading over the past couple of days, because I'd like to try and keep this thing current, try and keep it relative. And it's the Tea Hut. We like to talk about random stuff. What's his bullshit on the news the other day about changing the words? And I'm not a religious man at all, right? I don't know if you are,
Yeah, semi-religious, yeah.
What religion?
Muslim.
Okay, cool. So I'm not religious, really. I don't necessarily have a certain belief.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is the deal with this that they're on about changing the words in hymns to be gender neutral? What the fuck is that?
Do you know what? I don't watch the news, read the news.
You must have heard about it.
I haven't.
Well, I've just told you a bit of headline.
No, you told me.
And that's on the fucking BBC.
Yeah. Again, I don't watch the news.
Yeah, okay, all right, you don't watch it, but what's your views on it? I've just told you that's a fact.
Well,
so
that's something. It's a tradition, isn't it? So why are they trying to change the tradition?
To be gender neutral?
Nah, it's bollocks.
What do you think?
Complete waste of time.
Bollocks,
if I'm being completely honest, it's not been touched for hundreds of years. So why bother now?
But would that not open the floodgates to rewriting every piece of text that's ever been published?
Yeah.
To be gender neutral.
Then it wouldn't be authentic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
The whole point of it is it's got to be authentic.
What about that Sam Smith thing then that they're going on about? That's just strange.
There's a few different viewpoints I can take on that.
Yeah.
And the main one is that the facts
where
are...
he's dressed up as in that light.
You seen that picture? He looks like a fucking human fucking pork crackling. But, you know...
Kids are looking at this, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And you don't want your kids to be thinking that's normal, do you?
Not really, no.
In my eyes, I don't want my little kids to think that's
I don't. I fucking think it's disgusting. But then I'm not agreeing with it or condoning it, because if anything, I'm fully against it. But I know that he's just part of a bigger matrix, i.e. the record labels. He's a puppet. Do you know what I mean? He's signed to a major label. If they say you do this for publicity, you will do this. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't agree with doing it, because he's a bit of a strange character anyway. And you know, I also think that these kind of people have been around for a long time. Michael Jackson, Boy George, Freddie Mercury. You know, they've been David Bowie. all these sorts of people have been around for longer than 10, 20, 30, you know, going back 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
Is it now that it's only more of a problem because it's in your fucking face all the time? Like back to social media, you know, or it's on the telly. You know, back 50, 60 years ago, they didn't have social media. They didn't have TV adverts like we've got now. Do you know what I mean? Is that not the problem here?
Yeah, I think the whole point of it is, if you want people talking about you, do something controversial.
PR stunt.
Andrew Tate.
Brilliant
right?
PR.
He's Mr. Controversial.
Yeah.
A lot of people agree with him. A lot of people hate him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was one of the
talking points, isn't it?
most
It just calls
Googled
well, we're
man in the
talking
world,
about it
isn't
right now.
Yeah, I know, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what
But it's
I
good.
mean?
I think it's important because it's a viewpoint that needs to be fucking spoken about.
I think it's just he done it because of controversy. That's what I believe. If he wants people speaking about him, I'm going to do this, and he's dressed like, you know, a sofa.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that feeds into the inverted commas LGBTQ narrative, like that's going around at the moment? It's like that's sort of a bit of a grooming culture to our kids. Do you agree with that? Or what's your views on that? Like saying that you can be what you want, you can dress how you want. Look at me, I'm getting my tits out, my arse out.
You can dress and do what you want to a certain extent, but there are sort of caveats to that, right? So you can't go around, you know, half naked, for example, right? Because it just...
Why not?
Well, it's just... It's not right, is it?
Well, no, it's not right in your perception.
Yeah, but if you... Let's just say, for example, I don't know, a guy goes out and he's got the back end of his shorts cut out and he's got his arse hanging out.
You've been out of Newcastle before.
But if you're going out during the day and in your head you're like, oh no, it's absolutely fine, like the guy wearing
it's normal.
It's normal for me. I'm just going to do it. And then you've got kids walking around and elderly and God knows who else. Then
you got to respect. You got to respect what you're trying to get.
You just got to be mindful. You got to be respect other people around you, because obviously, you know, you share this planet amongst other people as
billions of others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so what gives you the right then to think that you can just go and do what you want? Because
there's got to be a limit to it, isn't there?
Yeah,
there's got to be
caveats to it.
There's got to be a standard set of rules for everyone, isn't there, really? Like you say, nudity in public's probably something that should be frowned upon.
Indecent exposure, isn't it?
I think it is.
Crime.
Well, no, it is. It is. If it was me or you doing it, if I tell you what, if there was me wrapped in pink string walking around a local park, I would get arrested.
Yeah.
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 Fact.
Yeah.
If it was Sam Smith, you know, you got people buying tickets to go and watch it.
Yeah.
That's I think there's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, but there's also as well, it's just sort of an extension to that. There's some celebrities as well who have just pretty much walked through court because they're a celebrity.
Yeah.
But if it was, you know,
Prince Andrew,
just someone of the normal public, they'll be getting slapped with some sort of, you know, crime. You know, their records endorsed and all sorts. So
Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew's gonna say that again. Yeah, I mean that's some crazy shit going. What's your views on that?
On what?
Prince Andrew. Just to throw it in there because I can.
It's just, in my eyes, it just seems obvious that something's happened.
Well, he's a nonce.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat it on here.
Yeah. It does, yeah.
What do you think, Shebs?
Yeah,
it's fucking obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, but also as well, no one has concrete evidence. It's just someone's saying, excuse me, this has happened. Yeah. And she's come out after all these years, like they all do. Yeah. Come out the woodwork.
Oh, here's my time to shine.
Exactly. You know, it's
he's a bit of a stupid fool, really, because he's going to be in the news, isn't it? Because of who he is, and if you're putting yourself in that position, then you've got to expect to get the consequences, isn't it? And it's going to come out at some point.
Of course it is. I don't see how anyone in that position can consciously make decisions like that. I think they're going to get away with it.
How did Jimmy Savile get away with it so long?
Fuck knows, mate. I think we were all massively duped by it. But I personally think that it's higher than that. And Jimmy Savile was the lower point of access into that much deeper society. And I think that goes on at higher levels a lot and has done for
it's all about in Hollywood, isn't it? In Hollywood, a lot of the things
years, mate. I think that's been going on for years. You know, people in positions of power where, you know, for instance, on casting couches, if you're a young kid and go to fucking get in a movie when you're younger and you're auditioning for parts, mate.
Have you heard the thing about where they scare like a young kid and they take the blood out of them because it's all
adrenochrome?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
There's something.
Oh, it's just, this is, you're fucking hell, you're opening a massive can of worms here. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And it's basically...
Give you your youth, isn't it?
Yeah, like they take the blood out of children and drink it.
They're scared.
That are scared. They have to be like in fear. It's got to be...
chemical that's going around in
yeah,
the
this
blood.
particular chemical that's in the blood, adrenochrome. I think that might be what it's called. And then they drink this, you know, blood with this adrenochrome in it, and it like keeps them youthful. And you've not heard of it?
No, but I've heard of something called the gym. That also keeps you young as well.
Just
do that. Just
eat
train
healthy.
hard. Yeah.
Eat healthy. Go to the gym. Don't kill children and drink their blood.
How's your gym going?
Oh fuck! Why'd you have to bring that
I have
up?
to ask you every time because I want you to get in the gym, mate. Because I go to the gym like yourself.
My gym.
Do you know what?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, my gym is still there.
It's still there, but you're not in it.
I'm not in it.
I
want to be. I do.
Honestly, like, I do bang on to him about it. I'm like, mate, come on.
Or
you gotta get to the gym.
at the bare minimum, just go for a walk.
I do. No, I do.
Look at steps. Just go for like half an hour walk.
Yeah, not walk just
How's
outside
this
to go and
getting
have a
into a
fag.
fucking deep chat about my weight issues?
No, it's about that. It's for your head as well, mate.
Yeah,
like,
no, I agree.
Health,
For anyone who's listening to this on Audible and not watching the video, I am a big guy, and anyone who don't know who I am, I'm a big guy. I have struggled with my weight for a long time, definitely. I look at you two skinny little cunts over there, and it's just like, both of me probably make up you. But no, that's something I've always struggled with, and that's one of my demons, and I want to get fit. I think that's my next thing to smash down now is my health, because I've done everything else. You know what I mean? I've done what I want to do, businesses, and I'm semi-successful with that right now, and it's getting better. And yeah, I think the only thing left for me to really, really focus on is my health. Lose a bit of weight. Yeah,
definitely, mate.
No, I do want to do it. It's hard, you know. I'm sure there's people, especially coming from the background that I do. I'm always out on the fly,
but then that's something
traveling around, eating shit on the fly, service stations, and
you say about when you get obsessed with something.
Yeah,
get obsessed with the gym, mate.
I'd love to.
I do. Do you know what?
No, mate, I'd love to.
I feel like if I don't go,
you feel bad.
I'm obsessed with the idea of getting healthy. I'm obsessed with the idea of looking good. Right, I'd love to look better than I do, but it's not really a priority of mine.
No.
You know, I'm not one of them people that what's that condition called where they look in the mirror and they like, even though you might look really good, but in their head they're like, I can't remember what it's called.
Now,
but you know what I'm saying, don't you? I don't get like that.
Yeah.
I don't look at myself and
body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia, yeah? I don't get that. I look at myself and I go, yeah, you're a fat cunt. And I deal with that, and I'm all right with it. I don't sit there and get complexes over it. It doesn't cause me sleepless nights. You know, it never has. And I'm not that conscious about the way I look.
I'm not going to the gym to, like, get a six-pack.
You're doing it for yourself.
Main thing is health.
Yeah.
I will do weight training, but I'm not like, I need to get a six-pack, because that's just another level of conditioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I still like my rich tea biscuits.
Yeah.
I still like a bit of cake.
Fucking right.
If I want a bit of chocolate, I'll eat that.
Yeah.
I won't feel bad for it, because you know what? You're on this earth once.
Yeah.
Right? And just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mate, you know, when I go to the gym, I'm not going there just to get a six-pack. That's not a goal of mine. The goal is just to keep my health on track, and that's it.
I think that what you just said is a really good note to end on. Actually, you only live once, so just fucking enjoy it.
Enjoy it. You're only here once.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's any like ending words, if there's anyone that's been through similar situations or is currently going through a similar situation to what you've been through, is there any advice that you'd give anyone?
Just talk to people. If you're in a position where, to just touching back on, like, if you've got friends who are doing things that you know what's wrong or you don't agree with, and they're not in a position to listen, or you've tried to talk to them to make them stop, but they're not listening. Just see if you can identify someone who you can talk to, because that's key. Because that will then start to get the ball rolling. They'll be able to best advise you in what to do, and if you want to walk away from this group of friends, and advise you about that and how to leave and walk away. But, you know, if you're on the other note as well, if you're, you know, in a family at the moment who's really struggling, obviously, as we well know, it's plastered all over the news, cost of living crisis, you know, food, fuel, energy, it costs an absolute fortune right now. I've received a letter from British Gas. Your direct debit is going from £138 to £206.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Doubled.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's going to be a lot of families out there. It's tough, because it is there is help out there. There are food banks. Depending on your age, you know, you could potentially learn a new skill.
Yeah.
what could pay. You know, you could maybe perhaps if you're, you know, good at social media, try and manage someone's social media account. You know,
or start an e-commerce business.
Or an e-commerce business. You know, Amazon do fulfillment by Amazon. You can even do like drop shipping as well.
Yeah. There's lots of different things.
There's lots of different things as well. I wouldn't advise sort of like crypto forex because, you know, unless you've got like starting capital and you understand it fully in and out, that's a huge risk, right? If you don't know what you're doing. But I would say just learn a new skill of some sort, even if it's like if you enjoy photography, video editors, they get
mate. I'm telling you, video editing's fucking expensive.
Exactly. I would, if I was starting out again, I'd learn a new skill and just monetize off it.
Yeah. And
it's so easy now because you've got social media.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
the digital age.
You've got internet connection, which is really, really quick, right? You've got 5G on handsets right now. You've got phones, which are, you know, photos and videos are absolutely flawless. So it's, just if you can, try and learn a new skill, jump on YouTube, read book, listen to podcasts, try and sort of absorb knowledge. If you've got local video editors in the area, maybe just like sort of shadow them, say, look, I'll help out. Can you sort of show me the ropes? And just sort of like just earn your way in, if that makes sense. So that will be my advice: to learn a new skill and monetize of it, because you can apply that skill into anything. You know, you can learn about property.
There's multiple streams of income.
Yeah, exactly. We're in an age now where you need multiple streams of income. It's no longer a luxury; it's a necessity. Yeah. You know, so it's so important. Learn a new skill and monetize off it.
Love that. Dean, what about you? Any closing words to today's session?
I was thinking when you was talking, and I can't remember what I was going to say now, actually.
Nothing.
I was daydreaming.
You fucking useless cunt. Typical office bod. Look, there ain't no windows in here for you to look out of. But all right, all right. Well, cheers, Shebs and Dean for sitting in, and I really appreciate it. And good luck with everything else you've got going on at the moment.
Yeah, you too, Robbie. Thanks very much.
I'll get you back on here again probably in a year's time, and we'll see where you are then and reconvene.
Yeah, lovely. Sounds good.
Lovely. Cheers, guys. Take it easy.
The Tea Hut, proudly brought to you by eGrowth Media.